On July 14, 1909, Ramanujan married Janki Ammal of Rajendram. Though outward circumstances had changed little, Ramanujan had entered a new stage of life. Hindu thinking sees life passing through four stages. As Brahmacharya, you are a student learning the spiritual and intellectual ropes. As Grihastha, you are a householder with responsibilities to home and family. As Vanprastha or inhabitant of the forest, you begin to throw off the bustle of family life and seek solitude. Finally, as a sannyasi, he relinquished everything, family, possessions and attachments, in pursuit of spiritual fulfillment. At his wedding, Ramanujan had ritually opted for this last stage. But in fact, he was now a grihastha. He had responsibilities, he had a wife, his father was pushing 50. No longer was he a free spirit left ranging with delight through mathematics happily on his own. It was time that he assumed the mantle of adulthood. In December 1910, Ramanujan met R. Ramachandra Rao, who was the district collector of Nellore, and on top of that was serving as the secretary of Indian Mathematical Society. Rao sought for Ramanujan some scholarship to which, despite his penchant for failing examinations, he was eligible. Monthly from then on, Ramanujan began receiving a money order for 25 rupees. It wasn't much, but it was enough to free him from economic worries. 1911 was a good and hopeful year. It was the year the capital of India was shifted with great pomp and ceremony from Calcutta to New Delhi. This year, a new sewer system, complete with underground circuits, sand filters and pumps, was being installed in Madras. The year its oil-lit streets began to give way to electricity. And it was the year Srinivasa Ramanujan's first paper appeared in the Journal of Indian Mathematical Society, representing his initial step into the stage of Indian mathematics and the world's. For about a year, Ramanujan lived on Ramachandra Rao's generosity. He was mathematically productive, peppering the Mathematical Society journal with one interesting new problem after another and completing a second paper. But he was, after all, unemployed, and this grew to bother him. In March 1912, Ramanujan joined the Madras port as a Class 3 Grade 4 clerk in the accounts section. Sir Francis Spring was placed in charge of the port trust in 1904 as its chief engineer. Another important man was Narayana Iyer, who, as the chief accountant, was the highest-ranking Indian. These two men, Sir Francis Spring and Narayana Iyer, were to play an important role in Ramanujan's life over the coming years. Many had advised Ramanujan that no one in India properly understood him, that he would not be able to find the expertise and encouragement he needed, that he should instead write to Cambridge or elsewhere in the West for help. More recently, Narayana Iyer gave him similar advice, and so in late 1912 and in early 1913, it was to the international mails that Ramanujan turned. He began to write leading mathematicians at Cambridge University, including with them samples of his work. He wrote to H.F. Baker, who had been the president of London Mathematical Society until 2 years before, but Baker said no. Ramanujan wrote to E.W. Hobson, an equally distinguished mathematician. Hobson too said no. On January 6, 1913, Ramanujan wrote to still another Cambridge mathematician, G.H. Hardy, who, at 35, a generation younger than the other men, was already setting the mathematical world of England on its ear. Could Hardy help him? And Hardy said yes. It was not until a windy Saturday, February 8th, that Hardy sat down to deliver to Ramanujan the verdict on his gifts. Trinity College, Cambridge, he wrote at the top, and the date then began. Dear Sir, I was exceedingly interested by your letter and by the theorems. With an opening like that, Ramanujan would at least have to read on. But in the very next sentence, Hardy threw out his first caveat. You will, however, understand that before I can judge properly of the value of what you have done, it is essential that I should see proofs of some of your assertion. Proof. It wasn't the first time that the word had come up in Ramanujan's mathematical life, but it had never borne such weight and eminence. The mere assertion of a result, however true it might seem, did not suffice, and all through his letter to Ramanujan, Hardy would sound the same in this theme. Still, on the whole, Hardy's letter was lavish with encouragement.